I get a lot of questions from people asking, how do I find a healthy relationship as an expat? Especially if you're a bit quieter or more reserved, or are always drawn to people who are not fully available. Does it sound familiar? Like no matter what you do, you always end up with people who are too busy or don't fully commit. It's so easy to feel like, are all the good ones taken? I was there too. And what I learned along the way is if you want a healthy relationship, you need to start with building one with yourself first. I know it sounds cliche, but research actually backs it up. My own example backs it up, and my work with a lot of clients supports it as well. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 steps that help me and keep helping my clients get out of this loop and find a healthy, strong, fulfilling relationship. First, let's talk about why we keep finding ourselves in these relationship patterns that leave us feeling empty, lonely, and completely exhausted. Studies show that people with insecure attachment styles tend to find partners who replicate this dynamic they used to experience in their childhood. It's like even if those dynamics aren't serving us, we sort of automatically go for them. We subconsciously repeat them because they feel so familiar. But the good news is we can change these patterns. And that's where these 5 steps come in. They're all about breaking those old habits and setting the foundation for self-worth and clarity. So let's go through them one by one. The first step is to recognize your patterns. For me, my pattern that was so deeply rooted in me was choosing unavailable people. Some people who were unavailable were just simply not interested in including me in their future plans. Some were a bit too into work and they didn't have time for me. And some people were just emotionally unavailable because they had so much trauma and so much stuff like emotional baggage going on in their life that they did not have really any space for me left. So in summary, I was choosing people who could not fully commit. And it's not like I was doing it consciously, but somehow like something in these people were so attractive to me on a subconscious level. It turned out that this scenario where I was like a sad puppy waiting for him to notice me, to text me, to give me some attention. That scenario was something that was very familiar to me, and that's something that I had in my childhood. And then I was just replaying it over and over and over again. And the danger of it is it happens without much awareness. So what I want you to do is to sit down and write down all the patterns and all the common theme you've experienced in your previous relationships. Do you notice any similarities? I know it might be uncomfortable, but trust me, awareness is the first step to real change. Once you see the pattern, you can start making different choices. And if you need a hand, I prepared 12 self-reflection cards for you. They'll help you access deeper insights in a gentle but transformative way. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck, like, yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know really where to start, this is the place where you can start. Send me the word clarity on my Instagram handle. This is my Instagram handle. And I will send you these 12 cards absolutely for free. Next, let's look at self-critical thoughts. A coaching client once asked me, why doesn't anyone like me? And that question really hit home because I used to wonder the same thing. There is actually a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias, which means that we basically tend to focus on things that tend to reinforce our negative beliefs. So if we think that we are unlovable, we might focus only on times where we feel rejected. Instead, what we should do is try flipping a question from why no one likes me, what's wrong with me, to what am I doing that might push people away? And it's important to ask this question not from a place of blaming yourself, but more from a place of curiosity and compassion. I totally understand that it might be really hard to see it, and in case you ask yourself this question but nothing comes up for you, I suggest bringing it to sessions with a coach or therapist. All right, let's get a little uncomfortable. What if you had to accept the possibility that you might never find a partner. For me, the thought that I might stay alone forever was truly terrifying. I remember this moment in Bali where I was sitting on this perfect beach surrounded by loving couples, and it felt to me like I was the only single person there. I was so upset that I could not be happy for them. I just thought on repeat, what if this is going to be my life? What if this is not just temporary or for now? What if it's forever? But then at some point, a new thought popped up. What if I can actually be happy on my own? Studies have shown that people who develop contentment on their own, without relying on relationships for their self-worth, tend to have more stable and fulfilling relationships later on. When I got back to the Netherlands, I had this incredible sense of peace. The thought that I might stay single forever no longer scared me that much. And I knew that it was a transformative moment in my life. Like, you know, those moments where you know that they mean something. It felt like I completed a level and I was ready for the next one. It's like in a video game, you know? That's how it felt to me. If this thought of you staying single forever makes you also feel uneasy, ask yourself why. What beliefs do you have about being in a relationship? It's a powerful way to uncover what's really holding you back. So many people have this idea that a relationship will make them happy and it will fill some kind of void. But studies have actually shown that happy, fulfilling relationships require both partners to have a strong sense of self. And on top of that, as someone who is in a relationship, I can tell you that a relationship is not a magical cure or solution to anything. In fact, a relationship comes with its own challenges. How to solve conflicts, how to compromise without betraying yourself, how to fully rely on someone else and trust that they not gonna fail you. What helped me to develop this strong sense of self is to ask myself, what can I do today to feel loved and supported? One of the things I do is to create content, to have this YouTube channel, to have an Instagram account where I share my thoughts, my ideas, my beliefs, and I just have a dialogue with you. This is something I did before I had a relationship and now that I have a relationship. So that's something that is truly mine and about me. This shift really helps you stay true to yourself, especially during conflicts or in early stages of dating. Because we're no longer this, I don't know, hungry for affection puppy who is just so happy to accept anything because we so need this warmth, affection and love. But instead, now we have ourselves, and that allows us to pause and make better choices for ourselves. As a coach, I work with so many introverts who feel like they need to be loud and extroverted to find love. They typically come to me being absolutely unaware that introverts too have a unique set of strengths. For introverts, it is being fantastic listeners and being capable of such a deep reflection that often manifests into deep, thoughtful actions. So the notion that all cool girls or guys go to these loud, extroverted people is a myth, perhaps made by people who are not able to see their own strength and their own power. So don't try to change yourself to be someone you're not. Learn what makes you unique, learn to recognize your power, and lean into these qualities. These qualities will draw and attract the exact people you want to attract. Now that we've gone through the inner work, let's talk about some of the authentic ways how to put yourself out there. Number one is dating apps. A lot of people nowadays on dating apps. Some are for fun, some because they don't have the time to invest in actual dating, so it's just easy, you know, to scroll and get some validation. And then others are like you, who are watching this video. You know, these are the people who are looking for something a bit more meaningful. And this means that if you want to find something that aligns with you, you might have to go through a lot of people who are by default are not a match. Beyond that, nowadays there are different types of dating apps. So it's important to do research on what type of dating app you want to go on. For example, there are some for more like one-night stands and some something more like intellectual dating or serious dating. Number 2 is go to events that you are actually genuinely interested in. Studies show that if we are engaged in an activity that we genuinely like and that feels very authentic to us, we're going to attract others that share the same values. And I think about it this way. If I go to, so right now I'm really interested in entrepreneurship, more like new business owners, people who are just starting their business, how it feels, what they need to do. So if I go to an event like that, and imagine if I were looking for a partner, which I'm not, but just for the sake of this video, if I go to an event like this, I am going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to talk to lots of different cool people, gonna exchange experiences, and going to learn something new. If I find that person the one, then it's a bonus. Then it's cool, nice. I found someone who I can go on a date and see where it goes. But if not, I'm not going to be too upset about it because I still had a lot of fun. Number 3, a bit of a controversial one, but I have a story to actually prove that this one works. So bear with me. It's called Don't Be Afraid to Go Out Alone. So I have a friend, a close friend of mine, who a few years ago went out with a group of friends, so he was not the alone one. And then he noticed the girl sitting in the corner of a bar. It was more like a cozy bar with like nice chairs, so she was sitting and reading there on a Friday or Thursday night. They crossed eyes a couple of times and he approached her and was like, hey, I noticed that you're sitting here by yourself. Do you want to join us? And now they are in a relationship. So if you don't really feel like going out, drinking and all that, or if you don't have friends yet to go out with, you can totally do it by yourself. Just grab a book, grab a journal, and even on a Friday night, go somewhere by yourself and see where it leads to. If these steps resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like those 12 free clarity cards to guide you through some of these stages, send me the word clarity on my Instagram. I'd love to send them your way. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. If you like this video, you will likely enjoy these 2 videos next. So I will see you either in these 2 videos or on my Instagram. Bye for now.